Next item, new business transfer of funds from working cash to capital projects.
Tim will bring you up to speed on this, but we got another bill from DLA, because a lot of their work is front-loaded in regards to being based off of $6.5 million, doing the drawings, the renderings and that, so we just got another bill from them for 190.
Yeah, 192,000.
And then we have some other expenses related to the demolition. And then we wanted to start doing the topography and surveying and soil borings for some of our work with the zoo in relation to looking at the possibility of working with paving the gated lot. So,
The one we talked about.
yeah, so we need to do some transferring of funds.
So that would be separate from this.
Correct. But I would think we would want to take it out of the Fund 60 because it's
Yeah.
capital improvement.
But I mean, we have to be careful that we're separating what the purpose is if it's not part of this project. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
For some of those meetings that we've been attending with Cook County and with the zoo and the Forest Preserve, and they've done some general sketches and engineering for us. They've been billing us separate as the zoo project, it's called, or zoo parking.
Okay.
We've been paying that out of Fund 60, but we've been keeping it as a separate project.
Good.
So what kind of detail are we keeping? Have we created a spreadsheet on the funds dispersed by these various ancillary projects versus the main project?
Well, at this point, all of the expenses, I mean, other than the bike path, all the expenses have basically been for professional services. So I mean, I have a
Yeah,
list.
but can we carve it out? Can we identify the amount of monies that we spent to try to convince Brookfield to become a good neighbor versus the amounts they're doing for the
Traffic studies.
Yeah, the
Traffic
project versus the bike path. We start keeping a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And we don't have a statement of work for DLA to do the work with the zoo, do we?
We have the general agreement of the 8.85, but WT is doing just the general surveying. That's the same company we use for the surveying of the school district.
But is DLA doing work for that so far?
I think we get billed from DLA and they handle the engineering, if there's an engineering
But
bill.
I mean, the statement of work we have with DLA with the 885 goes to this project over here. It
It's a
doesn't
general
include that.
agreement, and then there's project specifics that we would do memorandums of agreement.
Right.
So if they start doing specific drawings for us, I'm assuming we'll have to do an MOA. But in general, to do some consulting.
How much do you think we're going to spend to do some of this upfront work on the zoo's area? You know?
We're anticipating just under 10 for the surveying, and soil boring should be similar, so that was about 7,500.
Okay. Are we doing soil borings to determine whether there's environmental issues or whether what the
depth, yeah.
some condition is of the area?
Well, one of the things
Both.
that's kind of come out of these meetings is that I think all parties are interested, but before we can seek true funding sources, whether it be state or local, is that we need to be able to take the numbers out for a hard request for proposal.
Sure.
And in order to do that, we would need to have legitimate drawings,
Right.
legitimate topography, surveying, et cetera. So, we've spoken in general about contributing, fronting our rent money.
No, I'm just asking, there's two different types of
Yeah,
borings
so
you do.
right.
You're doing it to see what the compaction and
Compaction,
quality of the
bedrock,
earth
that
below
kind of
there.
stuff.
Okay. The depth of the bedrock.
Right.
The water table and all
Right.
that. Okay.
So then I would anticipate, once that's completed, between WT and DLA, there'll be some bid drawings.
Mhm.
And right now, there's those hourly rates.
Okay.
That has in the general architecture agreements, we've been using those.
So did you give us off the top of your head what, for that zoo project, what it's going to be for this preliminary?
It's too preliminary.
Too preliminary. I would anticipate, could be 15 to 20,000.
We're not talking tree removal at this point.
No.
No sacred tree removal.
Listen, is there nothing more than discussions, but in order for us to truly have a letter, a commitment around the table, so You know, I made it very clear at the meeting, you know, the exact stuff we talked about with our rent money, and so we were told by the commissioner, hey, keep all your receipts, and that's coming out of your end, but we have to get some of this stuff done to see if there's even, you know, what the true costs are and what somebody could bid this for.
And we can trust the numbers we're getting, or the.
Well, that was the other
analysis.
thing. Right now, we've gotten 2 proposals from the zoo's construction manager and our construction manager. There's been a significant difference, but also there's a range, and there's a $500,000 range, and it's kind of hard to go to the state or to go to somebody else and say, hey, we need $1 million to complete this project, but we're guessing.
Yeah.
You know, what we're trying to put in line is, hey, there's an MOA, or general terms of agreement between the Forest Preserve and the school district. There's some legitimate bid documents, legitimate numbers, RFPs, and then that's when we would request funding.
Okay. Thank you.
Kevin, to this resolution, I thought there was a shorter one last time.
No.
Got to read the whole thing?
This will be a resolution of the Board of Education directing the school treasurer to partially abate and permanently transfer monies from the working cash fund to the capital projects fund.
Whereas the working cash fund of Riverside, Brookfield Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, the school district, was created for the purpose of enabling the school district to have in its treasury at all times sufficient money to meet demands for ordinary and necessary expenditures for corporate purposes, and whereas the issuance and sale of school district bonds or by levy and extension of taxes pursuant to Article 20 of the School Code of Illinois, the school code funded the working cash fund. And whereas the working cash fund presently has on hand a balance of at least $13,901,567,000, and whereas Section 20-5, 20-9, and 20-10 of the school code provide that the Board of Education has the power to partially abate and permanently transfer a portion of the fund balance in the working cash fund to any fund or funds of the school district most in need of the money, provided that the school district maintains an amount to the credit of the working cash fund, including taxes levied pursuant to Section 20-3 and not yet collected, and amounts transferred pursuant to Section 20-4, and to be reimbursed to the working cash fund at least equal to 0.05% of the then current equalized assessed value of the taxable property in the school district. And whereas the board has determined that the school district's capital projects fund is in fund most in needs of monies to be permanently transferred from the working cash fund to provide money with which to meet the ordinary and necessary disbursements consistent with the purposes of that fund. And whereas it is the best interest of the school district that the Board of Education direct the school treasurer to partially abate and permanently transfer a portion of the fund balance in the working cash fund to the capital projects fund. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Riverside, Brookfield Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, as follows. Section 1, the Board of Education hereby finds that all of the recitals contained in the preambles of this resolution are full, true, and correct, and does hereby incorporate them into this resolution by reference. Section 2, the school treasurer is hereby directed pursuant to sections 20-5, 20-9, and 20-10 of the school code, and sections 100.50D2 of Title 23 of the Illinois Administrative Code, as amended, to partially abate and permanently transfer $400,000 of the monies in the working cash fund to the capital projects fund. Such transfer to be made effective January 14, 2015. Section 3, following the transfer, the school district shall maintain an amount to the credit of the working cash fund, including taxes levied pursuant to Section 20-3 and not yet collected, and amounts transferred pursuant to Section 20-4, and to be reimbursed to the working cash fund at least equal to 0.05% of the then current equalized assessed value of the taxable property in the school district. Section 4, all other resolutions or parts of resolution in conflict with this resolution are hereby repealed, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its adoption.
Second.
I didn't hear that all. Can you repeat that, Gary?
Mike, you got to read it again. Seconded by Mike. Discussion?
Yeah, one point of discussion. I don't see why we put the recitals and then adopt them and repeat all the information, and can you have at some point our
Aaron, did we
attorney
get this
see if we
resolution
can.
from the attorney?
Yes.
See if they can take a look at it, and condense it. It shouldn't be necessary to repeat that stuff.
I would agree.
But that's, doesn't really affect our vote
I think it's
right now.
Tim's way of telling us, let's just do one transfer going forward.
No, he's the one that asked for piecemeal.
No.
You and him.
So Tim,
I'll
this
tell you
will,
what,
the,
Tim.
the dollar amount you are requesting will cover the demolition bid at the
Mhm.
125 or 122, whatever we approved.
And
About 25 for DLA, and we got the 192, or,
192 for DLA.
and then we got about roughly 25 to do some work for the shared parking we're investigating.
Yes,
So the only
This will
problem.
all be, we should
Mhm.
be okay then?
yes.
Well, it's only, it leaves you less than 50,000 for other expenditures, so the next
Well,
time.
we make this transfer, we'll have over 450,000.
Oh, we will. We still have money
Because we
left
still
over
have
from the first
58,000.
transfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Mary Ann?
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes.
Mr. Jepson?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Okay, next matters for the closed session include personnel, sale or lease of land, student residency, confidentially of closed session minutes, and probable litigation. This is our last visitor statements. Do I have to read the whole thing?
I would ask first if there's anybody.
Does anybody want to?
Does anybody want to make a visitor statement? This side, this side. Okay, no volunteers. Discussion items, we've got to ask that again?
No,
Yeah.
these are times we discuss them.
Oh.
Yeah, if we had
That was-
items, we would
I
discuss
think there
them.
were no new items.
No, no
Otherwise.
items.
Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School District 2A, Cook County, Illinois, enters closed session for the purpose of considering appointment, employment, or dismissal of employees, student residency, sale or lease of land, confidentiality of closed session minutes, and litigation.
Second.
Seconded by Mike Welch.
And
Discussion.
there's been some law change in these areas, so I just want to make sure that we follow any law change in these areas that are now in effect.
We've listed everything we're going to talk about, right?
But within those items, some of the law has changed.
Okay. Mary Ann?
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes.
Mr. Jepson?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
John, I should make the students sit through a whole meeting. We've never had that happen.
Can I ask the students why they're sitting here?
They don't.
They don't.
No,
Why are you sitting here, guys? Why are you,
we're just
why
curious.
don't you tell them?
For essay.
Oh,
Student Association?
yeah.
Okay,
Well, I commend you for doing that.
thank you.
When you know,